What kind of sick game is this, Turner?
Batman! Welcome to my arena! Much more entertaining than the usual exercise hour in the yard. I think you'll agree. Your timing is perfect. We're fresh out of prison cars to challenge our reigning champion, Bronze Tiger. Simple rules, gentlemen. The one that doesn't die keeps fighting.
Enough, Penguin. I'm not your puppet.
Tiger, you became my toy when you declined to join the ranks of my soldiers. Now, it's play or die.
I'm sorry, Batman, but I'm sure you do the same in my position.
I wouldn't be in your position, Turner.
It was an accident.
Enough, Gavin! To the death!
It's a cold day, rainy night outside during the time of Gotham City, whether it's rain, mix, or shine, or snow. But I would say it is time to go punch crime in the face. This is Arkham Twin Days! Hi there, viewers. I'm Leo Wolverine, your game commentator and founding member of Leo's Let's Plays Alliance. So we are going to talk about Arkham Origins Blackgate Deluxe Edition storyline. So we are as we begin, this Batman on the rooftops, keeping an eye out things around Gotham City during the nighttime, and it feels so pleasant outside in the night. So, but he noticed something that's coming out of the window. A cat burglar is breaking out silently without tripping any alarms. Or so it seems. Okay. So this Catwoman person wants to break in and take something and put insert into her specialized cell phone. Of course, Batman jumps into the scene and wants to know, what did you stole? Or something like that. Well, she says anything about that. It's just I have things that I have a score to settle or something like that. But I would suggest you would like to give chase. Of course, and then Batman tells her you need to quit stealing, or else you'll be sent to Blackgate. I would suggest you surrender quietly. So he tries to do that, like, for those who need to give up. But then these rent-a-cops came out of nowhere. I have no idea how or why the story is developed. So anyways, he's going to stop these rent-a-cops. And because, of course, Batman says, I'm handling this. I'm only doing my job while you do yours, or something. He wouldn't say that, so he just says, I'm handling this. But then Batman said, we were just leaving. And all of a sudden, Batman kind of noticed that Catwoman kind of left the scene, and these rent-a-cops saying Batman must not leave this rooftop at once. But I don't think they're not going to take down the Dark Knight so easily, because he knows how to take down a one-man SWAT team. Or a full group SWAT team, if you want to know. So he is intended to take down those rent-a-cops, and then able to jump from rooftop to rooftop to chase after Catwoman. Of course, she loves to tease and play with him, if you want to know, so it will not be hunky-dory, if you want to know. So, going through rooftop to rooftop, he has no choice but to go after her. So anyways, that's the only way she's gonna chase him down. Of course, going through vents outside of Gotham. Okay, I don't know what the game developers from Armature Studios were thinking, but I guess that kind of works. I mean, Batman does have to go through in places at once. And so for that, he's able to catch up with Catwoman. Of course, taking down the rent-a-cops, including his little small predator area outside of Gotham, would work. And it absolutely was fantastic. Of course, it kind of looked like The Dark Knight. It kind of looked like Batman Begins-ish on the very beginning of the game itself. So they was able to catch up with Catwoman, going up on a final showdown once again. Well, somewhat like a standoff. So this standoff would end up in a quick match by Batman declaring himself as the winner. And so Catwoman was able to download or upload the file straight to her employer, or so it seems. So this employer will be shown later. Of course, Batman says, "You tell me what is in those files, and I'll take you somewhere that is less dangerous than Blackgate." Of course, things are never gonna get easy alone by talking to bad guys or criminals and those who are anti-heroes. It is just some criminals like to be a pain in the stick in the mud. And so for that matter, these rent-a-cops were kind of showing up at the moment, and then they do apprehend Catwoman and taking her to Blackgate prison. But before she was going to Blackgate prison, she says, "Oh, he's good." Of course he is. So let's see. 1 week later. 1 week later, James Gordon, who is now in charge of the precinct, kinda puts up the bat signal or gives Batman a call. And Batman says, "You better have a good reason to tell me what's going on here." And Jim Gordon says, "Batman, there's been a riot back in Blackgate prison all over again. And seems like we did this long time ago. So it's kind of like yesterday. Reminds me of the times that we had to fight against them." And so, the Blackgate prisoners were making another riot. This is the 3rd time that they committed a riot back in Blackgate prison. What's causing this? So, even though Batman could go to Blackgate on his Batwing, he decided to just swim across on the riverside. And James Gordon says, "Batman, there are criminals and thugs of the worst in Gotham City that's ever been, and everybody wants a piece of you." And Jim Gordon says, "Be careful, since they are now teaming up as allies." And Batman says, "Well, they're about to get their shot." Of course, I have no idea, but the game is kind of rushed, to be honest. And he crossed over to the other side of the river. And for that matter, it's just, okay, he crossed over to the other side of the river. I get it. Yeah, I dig it. But it doesn't make sense. You could across on the other side of the river with a Batwing, and it is continuity there error. I mean, really, is that what it seems? I suppose. Yeah. This just doesn't make sense. Oh my. It's just really that okay, that puts a damper on relationships on games. Wow. That is just twisted. But anyways, he finds a bunch of thugs belonging to that one thug each. The Joker, the Penguin, and Black Mask. So he is able to stop them and rescue Catwoman. And he is able to do that. And of course it seems he is able to handle it. Of course, Catwoman told the Batman, "Thanks for rescuing me. They're trying to get me to join on either one of their side, if you want to know." And so, yeah. And Batman says, "What do you mean, side?" Of course, what she meant is for one of these goons would like to join those who are trying to get recruits. It's just, yeah, interesting. I'm guessing they need more hired help since they're kind of running out of hired hands, even though during the times of Blackgate prison. So yeah, it's pretty obvious if they needed help all of a sudden. So for that time, it seems like since Catwoman has kind of tell Batman the information that Black Mask is in the industrial facility inside Blackgate prison, while Joker is in the administration room and the Penguin is in the cell blocks. And both of these guys do have a different kinds of grudges. Of course, Black Mask hates Joker way more than the Penguin does. Of course, he does have some tensional ties with Penguin, of course, but usually they have their own territory. Of course, Batman has no other choice, even though he wants to find out. Of course, there's been some hostages have been taken captive on whether it's Joker's men or Black Masks or the Penguins, of course, and and there's only one way to power things up, and that is going to the Arkham wing. So the Arkham wing is where the home place of a secret room or secret area that cannot be opened due to the public or some sort. And so for that matter, there's got to be a way to get in. So he start off with the Penguin. And yeah, I mean, Catwoman says, do you think I would rather let those people die? I'm just a thief, not a psychopathic murderer like everyone else. Which, she does have a point. I mean, she's not a psychopathic murderer, of course. But that one thing that Selina Kyle back on Batman Returns is kind of twisted. So, but I'm going to save that info for later. So, yeah. Oh my. It is pretty insane. So I would say that things are going to get more interesting. So he has no choice but to work with Catwoman. But he says, wait, no tricks. And Catwoman says, for you, only treats. Just give me a call, and he gives like this audio earpiece headphone or some sort, but he could use that as a tracer. So, Batman had no choice but to team up with Catwoman. Of course, giving any information or incentives of some sort. What incentive she knows, I have no idea. And so for that matter, his quest begins to capture the Penguin first. Of course, someone is keeping things an eye on. But what is Katniss doing on this part of the Arkham Origins Blackgate Deluxe Edition? Of course, Katniss did appear back in Arkham Origins, Amanda Waller. So there is something going on around here. And so, for that matter, the plot will begin to thicken soon. I'm getting to wondering who's been watching the whole time. And so, onto the Penguin's capture. So Batman journeys around through the cell blocks and tries to find the Penguin. Of course, the cell blocks seem to be kind of being put up on some barriers that are being inaccessible to Batman. But when there is a will, there's always a way in to go and find where to get the Penguin or to find a location. Of course, usually the Penguin can be somewhere around here. Of course, Batman needs to find a way in, of course, areas that are inaccessible. So, Batman tells Catwoman that tell me to find another way to go into the shipyard. Or, the prison yard, if you want to know. He said, well, Catwoman says, I hear Penguin is over there, but there is no, from where you're at, there is no other option to go through the other side. And so for that, but she did mention there is a Wayne Tech up box that showed for the ones that goes for military grade gear. And so Batman decides to go over there for where the Wayne Tech utility box or Wayne Tech box or some sort for military grade weapons or any gadgets. So for that, he is able to get the Bat Claw, which, yeah, usually I have no idea why would he put his gadgets away in the first place, but I guess that's going to be considered counted for, I suppose. So I suppose there is some bit of an error, I suppose. So for that matter, he is able to get the Bat Claw, and he's able to pull down through any obstacles along the way, making his way through around the cell blocks of the prison yard, and he is able to get to the other side. Well, now get to the prison yard. Of course, there is this little Rumble in the Bronx thing, but it's not the Rumble in the Bronx, of course, by the name of Bronze Tiger. Of course, he refuses to join the ranks of the Penguin because he doesn't want to be his puppet. He is no one's puppet. He is his own man, I suppose. And so Batman had to step into the fight, and he said, "What are you doing, Turner? Trying to pick fights around through the prison yard?" Or so it seems. Yeah, but Bronze Tiger does have somewhat of a conscience usually, so I like this kind of Bronze Tiger who has a conscience, who doesn't want to be someone's puppet, including the Penguin. And so for that, the Penguin is enjoying himself right on top of the prison yard in a balcony. And so it's kind of like this two men enter, one man leaves thing. And so yes, 2 men enter, 1 man leave. Your choice. You enter here, or you don't, or you lose and don't win nothing at all. Oh yes, winning nothing at all can be not fun. So what does Batman has to do? Well, he has to stop Turner, but he will not kill and take a life because he will not do. He's always bound with the no-kill code at all costs. The Batman does not kill, whether they be guilty or innocent. And that shows a lot of Batman's character. And so for that matter, he is able to try to stop Bronze Tiger and putting him down to the ground. And yes, he is able to outsmart him and beat him at his own game. Of course, Bronze Tiger says, "You win. Just do it." And the Penguin says, "You've won, Batman. Finish him off. Take his life and kill him." And Batman says, "No." Of course, the Penguin will pay those people who defy him. And Batman, of course, has no other choice but to stop the Penguin's thugs. Of course, Bronze Tiger did one quick move, pull out these claws of, on his hand, and then takes one of the assault rifles away from one of the Penguin thugs or criminals, and then able to fire upon them. He's able to nick the Penguin somehow, but of course he is kind of bleeding. I have no idea how is he alive. Usually, even though for surviving that long, Bronze Tiger says there's something going on there's something going on that's locked inside of the Arkham wing. I don't know what it, or there's something that's going on that's locked inside. I don't know what it is, but you need to get there. And Batman said, "The entrance to the Arkham wing. I don't know what they have in store, but you must hurry. Go!" And Bronze Tiger is going to hold them off, if you want to know. So, Batman is going to follow the Penguin's blood trail using his detective mode scanner and following the Penguin's blood trail through from where he was at the balcony, going back to the prison cell blocks, and leads straight to an elevator, all the way to an elevator that uses a key code that he cannot use the cryptographic sequencer because it's not used for this kind of tech. So he is able to go to the elevator with the initial key code numbers that the Penguin pushed the button since he was kind of bleeding to death, but he doesn't die, okay? So he is bleeding, but he doesn't die at all. What? And talk about a guy who has a lot of blood, even though he is not Frosty the Snowman and very small to a midget. So he is able to, since the door is locked to the other side, there is no way for him to get there. The only way for him to get there, of course, is to go through the docks of the prison of Blackgate. Yes, the docks has a prison, of course. I'm pretty sure because why? Because that's where the prison is, where it is going to be at, or of the docks. So he's gonna try to get there, but of course the place to the docks is kind of inaccessible, so there's only one way he has to get to there, to the other side where Penguin is at. He noticed there is a cable line launchers located in one of the Blackgate prison facilities, and he has to go to the administration building, and that is where the Joker is at, of course. So yes, the Joker is in the administration building. So he's going to have to catch the Penguin later and get the line launcher for himself to find it in the administration building, of course, where the Joker is at. But I do believe we are going to stop here for the time being, and don't worry, we are going to continue to pick up from where we left off of more of the Arkham Origins Blackgate Deluxe Edition storyline, which takes place a few months later after Arkham Origins of the storyline and the DLC. So, yes. But until then, this is Leo Wolverine saying and speaking as always as your sensational Super Saiyan who takes chances, makes mistakes, and get messy in Leo's Let's Plays Alliance and punching crime in the face in Breast Cancer Awareness Month for the entire month of October. Godspeed, play safe, and shalom. Remember, the Dark Knight is always watching you, and so am I. See you guys next time for more of Arkham Twin Day.